And you're listening to Kayshia In The Mornings right here on Millennium Internet Radio. I'm your girl, Kayshia D, owner of Millennium Internet Radio. Make sure that you all check my station out, millenniumradios.com. You get a chance to hear some of your favorite early 2000s hip hop, R&B, pop, and gospel between the years of 2000 and 2010. So don't go anywhere else. Just come to Millennium Internet Radio and hear those songs. Reminisce with me, have a good time with me on my station. If there is any songs that you didn't hear on the station that you was like, you know what, I have to have this. I have to have this song on the station, and that you want to listen to, please email the song title and the artist name to millenniuminternetradio@gmail.com. Leave us a review on social media. Uh, yeah, just support. Because as I tell people all the time, this is a small station now, but give it a little bit more time. This will be an empire as I am trying to make it out to be. So, on that note, I got the intro out the way. Let me go ahead and jump into some of these topics. So today is not going to be super long, but it's going to be a short one. So the first topic is going to be Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is on child number 10. Brittany Bell, which is one of his baby mamas. This is her third child with Nick Cannon. And a lot of people are upset with Nick Cannon. They're like, what's going on with Nick Cannon? Why is he uh, getting so many women pregnant and having these women give birth to his children? Like, what is going on? Um, and with my show, I give my opinion, but also I want you all to give your opinion as well. What you feel or why you think Nick Cannon is doing what he's doing. Do you care? If you do care, tell me why you care. If you don't, tell me why you don't. Let's be interactive. So, my opinion about this, to be honest with you, I had a conversation with my best friend since 7th grade this weekend about that and about this topic. And we was talking. It was just like, we kind of don't care because it's Nick Cannon and he have the money to take care of the kids and take care of the baby moms. Um, and then also it sounds like each of the baby moms are okay with what's going on. If they're not okay with it, none of them have voiced it. But I think like they're okay with it because Nick is providing for them. And with a man, especially when you decide to, uh, agree to be his husband, agree to be his wife, sorry, agree to have his children and all this stuff. You try to be one. You are looking for the man to provide, protect, and to be there for you in some type of way that any man isn't able to, that you haven't chosen for your life. I was saying I didn't care at a point, but then it's like I started thinking about it. I was like, well, he's able to provide financially, and I think that's what I think now today's society. I think that is what they mainly are looking for, is the providing financially. So the fact that you have all this money coming in because you have Nick Cannon's child, um, I can see why some of the women don't care. Every month they receive probably a few $100,000 a month. Hey, but at the same time, I'm a woman, and I would want to sit there and have a man come home for work, or myself come for work, and we get a chance to sit down, talk, look at each other in each other's eyes, hug one another. Just that whole security thing. If you go to the store and something happens, you could pick up the phone and he's flying down the street to come and get you. If there's something that, he's probably working and, you're a little nervous about something, you could call him and he'll answer and he could help you out with, shaking your nerves off. Little stuff like that is what I'm looking for. Communication is huge for me. I just don't know how Nick Cannon is going to be able to provide that type of love for each of the women that he has. Now, Mariah Carey has his first set of twins. Mariah Carey is Mariah Carey, okay? So Mariah already have her own money. She is already financially stable. She is set. Not saying that Nick Cannon and her probably don't have some type of agreement in regards to either finances for the babies, because either way it goes, he has to provide for those kids as well because he's the father. But we don't hear about Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey, like, shoot, y'all do what y'all do. I'm over here living my best life, and also she's also in a relationship with somebody as well. So it's not too much of an issue, I don't think, with her. I know there was a topic where somebody mentioned, like, do you think that Mariah Carey is embarrassed by Nick Cannon's actions? I'm like, I don't think Mariah Carey cares. She's Mariah Carey. Listen, if I was Mariah Carey, I'm like, I don't care what he doing. I'm over here living my best life, as I mentioned before. So I don't think Mariah is embarrassed. I know for a fact that we have seen Nick Cannon with the twins, taking pictures with them and everything. And the thing is, they're both private. Mariah Carey is extremely private. Nick Cannon was private to a point, and then all of a sudden he just burst out into the whole social media and media craze and want everybody to know what's going on in his life. Um, but I couldn't do it. Now, if Nick Cannon walked up to me one day and I'm just walking down the street, if I go back to visit my second home, San Diego, California, which is his hometown, and I'm walking down the street and Nick Cannon like, hey, and I'm like, who is he talking to? He talking to me? And he like, I think that you would be a great mom to my child. I want to, impregnate you. Now, I mean, honestly, honestly, am I going to say no? I would say, let me think about it. I'm at the age of 37 at this point. Since this time is ticking, if I do want to have a child, I mean, Nick Cannon probably will be the best one to have a child with. But it's like, but at the same time, I want more out of a relationship instead of just like, okay, I just planted my semen in you and or my sperm in you. Now 9 months later, I have your child, and then you know what? I'm gonna have you on my schedule of a rotation of when and how I'm gonna come by and visit and support. I don't really want that, so I would have to literally, as hard as it will be, I would have to pass on Nick Cannon asking me if I wanted to have his child. Only because I love the attention. I love if we could sit down and have movie night and I could snuggle up against you and you could snuggle up against me. And if I'm not feeling great, you could be there to, help me out when I'm, feeling low. I'm very selfish. I want you and you only. I don't want you to be with somebody else and then now you're coming to me. I don't want that. So, unfortunately, it's not for me what Nick Cannon is doing, and for the ladies who is participating in this by being, baby mama number 3, 4, whatever. Of course, Queen B number 1 is you can't never top the Queen B. So Mariah Carey, I say, is Queen B number 1, so she don't even care. It's just the other ladies that's underneath. It's just like, I mean, he's coming, he's getting this person pregnant, which means he's not using a condom. Now he's coming to you within 9 months later and not using a condom, and it's just like I don't know. It's to me it's not me, so I don't care. But my entertainment media side says I wouldn't be able to do it, and I don't think that Nick Cannon should keep doing this and going that route. But who am I to say Nick Cannon has an empire? He worked hard to get to where he's at. He may have a master plan on what he's doing, why he's doing it. He may also have his kids every time we don't see him on TV or hear about him in the news. He may have all these kids together. They may have great times. He may be there to be the protector and the provider. Um, but from us looking in, it looks crazy. The people involved, it probably looks normal. So on that note, leave y'all comments underneath. Let me know what you think about Nick Cannon having child number 10 coming into the world. And yeah. So let's go ahead to the next topic. So I don't know if you all have seen that there is a list going around on social media stating the 50 worst rappers of all time. I'm not sure if you saw it, and if you haven't, let me tell you who are the 50 people on this list. Now, I'm a little disappointed in a few of them because few of these people I was bumping back in the early 2000s, and it's a lot of people from the early 2000s on this list. So let me go ahead and talk about this. So number one, well, let's go ahead. Let's do this. Let's start at number 50. Number 50, NBA Youngboy. 49, Eazy-E. 48, Playboy Carti, something like that. 47, RZA, which I don't. Okay, anyways. 46, Nelly. 45, Iggy Azalea. 44, Future. 43, Tom McDonald. 42, Tony Yayo. 41, Designer. 40, Gucci Mane, which I don't agree. 39, Petey Pablo, don't agree. 38, Young Thug. 37, Flo Rida slash Pitbull. 36, Little Uzi Vert. 35, Mike Jones. 34, Yin Yang Twins. 33, French Montana. 32, Riff Raff. 31, G Herbo. 30, C Murder. 29, Bow Wow. 28, The Saint Lunatics. 27, Chingy. 26, Nick Cannon. 25, Manny Fresh. What? 24, Soulja Boy. 23, Chief Keef. 22, Gunna. 21, Little B. 20, Cardi B. 19, Blueface. 18, Plies. 17, Benzino. 16, Yeet. 15, Kid Boo. 14, Vanilla Ice. I didn't even know that he was a rapper, but that's just okay, whatever. 13, Birdman. 12, Coy Leroy. 11, Waka Flocka Flame. Number 10, Sean Diddy Combs. Number 9, Gutta Gutta. Number 8, 6ix9ine. Number 7, Smoke Perp. Number 6, Little Pump. Number 5, Little Flip. Number 4, OJ, the Juice Man. I like that. What's up? Yeah. Okay, anyways, can't sing, but we ain't gonna do it. Number 3, Master P. What? I was a No Limit Soldier back in the day, so that I don't agree with that at all. Number 2, Little Yachty. And number 1, Silk the Shocker. Now, with this list, whoever created this, the 50 worst rappers of all time, I need you all to put in the comments, who do you agree should be on this list and who you do not agree should be on this list. There's a few people. Now, I'm a female, so I'm not like, hardcore into hip hop and know like listen to those hip hop songs. I like to have a good time. I like songs that got a good beat, that I know the lyrics to, that I can possibly rap to make it seem like I know my rap and I can rap. so so I like that type of music. The early 2000s for me, and I tell people this all the time, the early 2000s was one of the best eras in my time, I would say, because it was all about fun, fun, fun. We could sit there, every song that used to play back in the early 2000s at the club, we could act the fool with, and people could still leave the club safely, okay? We had a good time. People knew that the songs was going to make you dance. None of those songs had you standing up against the wall, and you wasn't supposed to stand up against the wall because the songs was just that good that they just had you want to move in some type of way. So having some of these artists on this list, for me, I wouldn't say that they was the worst rappers of all time. I wouldn't even know who to put down as the worst rapper of all time. The fact that these gentlemen and ladies on this list are getting paid hundred thousands, millions of dollars compared to us who is trying to reach that status, I can't even say who is the worst. So for me, I don't agree with this list at all. We got to pay homage to everybody who came before the people that's on this list, people who are on the list, and people who are now out, rapping currently. So I respect everybody who is in the hip hop game and the rap game, and they're doing their thing. But I do not agree with anybody on this list. I feel like nobody should be on the worst list of all time. Um, but let me know what you think. Tell me your thoughts, and yeah, because I don't agree. All right, so I was saying that we was gonna make this short, but there was a topic that came up, and I want to talk about that real fast. So, Fat Joe is in the news. Fat Joe made media coverage, and everybody is talking about this now. Fat Joe said that Latinos was the creators of hip hop. Now, I was all through these comments trying to hear, well, not hear, but read everybody's comments. People are going crazy. People was like, Fat Joe named at least 10 rappers from, back in the day who started, hip hop and all this stuff like that. To be honest with you, I have to disagree with Fat Joe. I do not believe that, and all respect to all Latinos and Latinas out there, love you all, but I do not feel like y'all were the creators of hip hop. As a black woman in our culture, a lot of things that we do and that we have started and as somebody also mentioned, that we are the most acceptingest, and I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to use it today, the most acceptingest culture out there, where we would just allow anybody to come in to our culture and live off of it, get rich off of it. And then now we got to sit here and deal with people saying like, oh, well, we was the creators. Oh, with Kim Kardashian, having the braids, the cornrows, and having the big butt and all this stuff. People were saying like, oh, she was the creator of the cornrows and the big butt, and it's like, no, that is definitely not true. I remember a time where ladies who had big butts didn't like to show that they had big butts because people used to consider them to be heavy set. People did not like the ladies who had big butts. I remember this time. Like I said, I was born in '85, and I remember some of the girls that I used to grow up with. They were getting figures and the body shape, and they did not like their body shape because that was not the end thing. Back then, if you had the European look, the small waist and the small butts and the small boobs or the big boobs, whatever the guys like back then, you was accepted. But if you had the big butt, the big boobs, they was like, oh no, you heavy set. Now all of a sudden the world had changed, where we have somebody outside of our culture mock what we have and made it into something that they like. Now they getting all the media coverage over for something that we had already had going on for years and years and years. And it's the same thing with hip hop. I mean, I born in '85, but my mom listened to, a lot of our uh, black artists back in the day, hip hop to um, old school, all of that stuff. So I'm pretty much kind of up to date on the music. I never heard, even like back in the '90s, the only person I heard back in the '90s that was not black who was in hip hop was Big Pun. Big Pun came like towards the late '90s, if I'm not mistaken. I Don't Want to Be a Player or something like that, one of those songs. That hit the airways and was like crazy, like non-stop on the airways in the late '90s. I have never heard of anybody in the hood listening to any hip hop that was created by a Latino. So for me, I would have to say the same thing as everybody else was saying. Fat Joe, I need you to pull the receipts. We're not saying that it's not possible, but we need you to show the receipts. And the fact that, there are certain things that Fat Joe do that I do not, I don't like. And I'm pretty sure Fat Joe, like, I don't care who you are, but the fact that I'm a black woman and I hear him using the N word a lot, It bothers me a lot. Um, to be honest with you, out of all the albums, the CDs that I've bought, I have not ever bought a. Well, wait a minute. That was Terror Squad, and the Lean Back was the song that was on that. So I don't actually have a full blown like Fat Joe album or CD. A CD, I guess we could call it CD of Fat Joe's. I just felt even back then that anybody who don't look like me, I always say like, okay, you all love what you hear, you love what you see in regards to how our black men dress, how our black men talk, how our black men rap and all this stuff. So it's like now you're just trying to fit in, and that's what I felt with Fat Joe. And this is just my opinion. I just felt like that he just wanted to fit in with the culture, and the fact that he probably lived around a lot of black people living in New York or any part of New York. You have the Latino community, you have the black community, you have so many different communities there. And I just feel like, Fat Joe was around a lot of black people who accepted him and accepted that he liked what the culture looked like. And so this is what he grew up to become. Um, I just wish that he didn't use the N word as much. Now we got to sit here and battle and talk about who was the creator of hip hop, which we already know in the black community who was the one who started. I was listening to this debate on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, and we just need to see receipts. That's all. If you say that the Latin community was the first people to start hip hop, please let us all know so that we can reference it correctly. But from everybody in the black community, we could have sworn everybody outside of the black community knew that hip hop was created by black people, all the way from back in the African days, where early African days where we just beat on drums and make beats just from little things. I'm not saying that any other culture never did that, but I just know like we are the originators of a lot of stuff. And if it wasn't for our ancestors who, was enslaved and have to do free labor for so many years, 400 plus years, it wouldn't be in America as you see it. Our ancestors was the ones who had to fight and be killed to build and grow and feed and nurture so many people. So to be honest with you, I don't want to hear anything in regards to somebody over here trying to take credit for something that our culture has already done and has already established by saying that we was the creators of it. So as you see, I'm about to get upset. So I'm not I'm not gonna continue to talk about this. But what I do want is for you all to put your comments and opinions into the comment section. If you know who is the first or the creator of hip hop that is in the Latino community, please put down the references so that we could talk about this. Because, like I said, I'm not discrediting that Latino didn't start it. It's just we need to see receipts because we we got records and cassettes and 8 tracks of black people starting and creating hip hop and having it mainstream and doing what we need to do to keep it going. You coming into hip hop is one thing, but the creator of it, it's just that's going to be the debate that we're going to have. So, let us know, educate us if we don't know. If you already know that it's our people that created it, let me know in the comment section. If you know that it's somebody in the Latino culture that created it, please let me know as well. I am all here for your comments. So, once you put your comments in, I could go ahead and shout you out on the next show and read your comments as well. Just be nice in the comments section. I know there's a lot of cyber bullies out there who just want to, talk stuff just to get their name seen, heard, whatever the heck they want to do. If you all about that cyber bully stuff, go on to the next one. I do not feel like going through that, because especially if you're not trying to come and talk to me in my face about it. So that's all I gotta say. But so this is going to be the show. I am about 6 minutes early to close out. Once again, follow Millennium Internet Radio on social media, Facebook at Millennium Internet Radio, Twitter at Millennium INTE the number 6, Instagram Millennium Internet Radio. You could email us at millenniuminternetradio at gmail.com, and you can listen live on our website, millenniumradios.com. Check us out. Uh, help me grow the station the way that I want it to grow. Have your friends, family, anybody that you are working around, have them tune in. Let's get the numbers up in regards to the listenership. And yeah, so you all have a great Tuesday night, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a great one. Be careful out there and look out for one another.